lambs are out, folks. The lambs are born. Baby number 15 keeps going to the wrong mummy, number 16, and number 16 mummy keeps headbutting number 15 out the way. I don't know. Number 15 mummy needs to call her over, or him. That was Clane's church, and I'm just about to go to find the Mug House, a 700-year-old pub. Now, I've never been, but I've got friends who've been and family members that have been. So I think it's just through this little lane, and you can see to the right of me the Malvern Hills. And here it is, the Mug House. The history about the Mug House is on the actual Mug House website, the pub website that is. And it says originally the Mug House was the church ale house, and its history goes back to the Plantagenets and the House of Lancaster. Brew houses were at one time an essential form of income for the church, for with some 75 feast days to celebrate, it meant money in the coffers of the church. It is known that Puritans closed most of the alehouses locally because of the drunken and lewd behaviour of the populace at the time, but the Mug survived. In 1638, the Constable of Clanes had closed 6 filthy public houses in Clanes in an attempt to quell the plague, but again, not the Mug House. Our poor are provided for, the highways repaired, a riot we know none, gamesters we know none, drunkenness none. The name mug is said to be connected with the old-time communion plate, or possibly also associated with clinching a deal over a mug of ale. The Mug House was the venue for the parish vestry meetings. In the 1784 vestry meeting minutes, it says 2 shilling and 11d was spent on a new cloth for the communion table, whilst the ale bill for the same meeting was £3 and 15 shillings. Claines Parish Records recall, if it shall be necessary at any time to have a church ale for the maintenance of the said church, it shall be lawful for them to have the use of the whole house during their ale. The proceeds of the ale were devoted to church repairs, provision of service books, communion plate and vestments. The Mug House contributed to the riotous festival wakes which featured in Claines churchyard in medieval times, which included bull and bear baiting, dancing and drunken roistering. In 1750, a number of parishioners bound themselves under a penalty of 40d, I think, to attend and endeavour to halt the evil practices. The original location of the parish stocks was between the church and the Mug House, last used in 1853 when a cowman occupied this instrument of public disgrace for being paralytic drunk. By the time of the early censuses, the early innkeepers were women. In 1841, Anne Mansell, aged 60, and living with her Henry Mansell, aged 40, possibly her son, who was a merchant. By 1851, Anne is still there, listed as a victualler, now in her early 70s, and has the support of Sarah Russell from Hartlebury, who is a house servant. Around 1855, Sarah Williams, aged 29, took over as a victualler, and in 1861 she was living there with her brother Elijah Williams, who was a clerk at the post office. Earlier, Elijah had lived at home with his parents, James and Elizabeth, who were the schoolmaster and schoolmistress at the National Schoolhouse Claines. And there's more history on the website for you to enjoy, but I thought I'd just give you that little bit there to sort of bring you up to date. I've just come out of the Mug House and spoke with a couple of customers and staff members, and they definitely confirmed that the Mug House is haunted. There have been sightings of various items being flung from the tops of the bar, and also noises in the cellar. While I'm here, we might as well just go into the church grounds. I don't think for 1 minute the church will be open, but this is St John Baptist Claines. Here's me saying it won't be open, and there's a big sign saying church open. Here we go. Let's have a walk in. I love the big lamp. How wonderful. A door within a door. Oh, this door is not. Oh, it's open. It's open. Little area for children. So nice that it's open, because I went to Dodder Hill Church the other day and I got all the way up the hill and it was closed. So yeah, it's nice to have access if you can, if you think it's going to be kept safe. So that's good. Howdy, howdy. It's a Wednesday in March, and I've been sort of tackling my kitchen this week, trying to keep all the surfaces clear, cleaning up behind various appliances, keeping it as clear as I can. And I've also got a new kettle which went missing, and it ended up being delivered next door for a couple of weeks, and they never told me. But hey, I've got it now, and it's a lovely silver one. I'll just show you. Isn't that nice? I had a plastic one before, and this is not plastic. It's a lovely DUALIT kettle. And I've also got a new bin, which happens to be silver as well, which is not from the same brand, but it's nice. It really goes. I'm thrilled with that. So the overall look is a tidy spring clean. Always makes you feel good, doesn't it? Lifts your spirits, good feng shui, as I was telling you on a previous video. And we need to practice it more, don't we? Clearing the clutter, tidying things up, getting things into baskets and boxes rather than having them hanging about. Easier said than done sometimes when you're living with other people and they just keep throwing things. But it makes you feel uplifted once you've done it, and you feel mentally organised and ready for the day. I'm just going to take you down the cellar, which is off of my kitchen, just to show you. Down in the bowels of the property. And we have dehumidifiers going all the time. And this is HQ for meetings, for practice. And most of the equipment's gone because my son's just gone to play tonight at an event. So he's taken most of his equipment with him. But this is the remains. And I have the towel on the floor just in case the dehumidifier ever leaked. Just in case. And because we're in the cellar, we've had to have it tanked at great cost because we were flooded in 2007. There was water and slugs and all sorts crawling up the walls, halfway up the walls. So we now have an alarm which goes off if the water table rises too high. And there's a sump pump that pumps all the water out up to ground level, and it's worked once, so it does work. So yeah, quite incredible how it works. It pushes it right up where there would have been an original coal chute coming into the middle of the wall, and yeah, ground level and into the drains. So it does work. But just in case any drips from the dehumidifier, if we don't have that on, because there isn't any window, there isn't any particular airflow, so that dehumidifier helps to keep the moisture content down. And if it goes above 50, I think on our dehumidifier little reading, you can get mould, so we don't want that. But yeah, that's a good room to have. I used to have it as a reflexology room, and I had it smelling all fragrant and beautiful. But it's got great use now as a music room, and the sound travels upwards as opposed to outwards, really. So with the travel, music goes up, so it's contained in our house, and my neighbour can't hear it who's attached to us. So that is good. And the piano, if we play the piano, it's going on to a wall that doesn't attach to anybody. So that's a good thing as well. And I thought I'd just show you outside, because outside I've always had a problem with a set of flats that overlook the property. And I've last summer put some screens up from Home Bargains. I think I bought these panels, and I've just trailed along the back honeysuckle, which has been growing really well. I mean, it's just, there's a buddleia. I'm just going to show you if you can see. There's a buddleia outside, and there's honeysuckle which is just coming in bountiful amounts. So it's just covered all of the trellis. So I'm absolutely thrilled, because it's blocking out any properties looking in, when before it was just felt like, I was a sitting duck and people could stare in. But not anymore. It's like a little haven now, so I'm thrilled. Honeysuckle in the summer was smelling absolutely divine. The scent of an evening was blowing us around. I mean, it was blowing around the property. We could smell it at the other side of the house, and we thought, gosh, it's travelling like in a swirl. So I must get some jasmine as well, because that's a nice smell, isn't it? So that's a project to be had. And I'm going to go back to Home Bargains, because I've just seen there, I don't know if they have Home Bargains where you are, some beautiful Buxus balls. Last year I had 4, and I think I lost 2 in the dry weather. So I need to replant some. And they're a nice paved look, aren't they? They're nice and manicured looking, so I might get some of those. So that's all for now. I'll catch you later.